How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of peachy, hopeful double IPA goodness in the form of Burlington Brewing Company's Peach on Earth. Yeah, I've never had this. But, every time I hear the word peach, I think of that song. You know the song, going to the country, gonna eat me a lot of peaches. And, yeah, now I'm going to have it stuck in my head all night long. So hopefully the beer is good. This comes courtesy of Jordan. Thank you very much, brother. He actually sent off this beer with a couple other Vermont jams. So, yeah, let's dive into it. Peach on Earth, double IPA with peaches. This was canned less than 2 weeks ago. And that'd be that. 8% alcohol by volume. Awesome pinstriping as per typical Burlington Brewing Company kind of can art. You can see. I dig it. So here we go. So peaches in a double IPA. So you're kind of bringing that stone fruit to a front, or hopefully you are. And yeah, hopefully she shows and proves. A little burping. All right, let's throw that in there. It's got a really unique color to its head, almost like a kind of like a, I was going to say peach fleshiness to it. Dissipating pretty quickly. You throw in a ton of fruit in a beer, that can be the key sometimes. It actually looks like it has the insane amount of floaters floating around in there. I don't give a shit about that stuff as long as it works with the beer and doesn't get too much in the way. But man, that looks like super turbid. Like I could stick a spoon in that, stick it straight up, getting pretty rocky in the head now. Like I said, I had that weird color on the edge, and it's rich and dense, but it's dense because there's bits and pieces floating out of that sucker. So are there peaches in here? Yes, I assume so. Hopefully that's peaches. Let's get a nose. I mean, you get a rich, greeny hoppiness with a little bit of citrus, a little bit of subtle stone fruit. And that's pretty much it. Nice sweetness to it. There's a bit of bittering in that greenness. But it's not going ape shit on peaches. It's probably a little bit more candied citrus to me than anything else. But yeah. I'm just going to dive in and see what she tastes like. Cheers. Yeah, you get huge amounts of fresh pureed peach in here. I think you're getting that because there is a huge amount of fresh pureed peaches in there. There's a big biting green component to it, so you are getting a ton of hops in there too. But I think a lot of that peach, and it comes off like every bit of the peach. You're getting the skin. You're getting that like nice, rich, tannic skinniness on top of the kind of fleshiness, and you're not getting like pit vibes from it. But once you get down towards the core of a peach, right where it touches a pit, it tends to have almost like, for me, that's where the pithy portion of a peach would be. It gets a little bit more kind of earthy and a little bit more herbally, kind of, for lack of a better word. And you're kind of getting all that in there. And like I said, you get that green component, which is outside of what the peaches are bringing, and you get that big sweetness to it. It's not a bad beer. It's not. I think it's tasty, it's fun, it's huge. I just think it's towing the line of not being a beer. And what do I mean by that? Is that I think there's so much peach in here. I mean, I wish you could see it on camera. I don't know if you can, but it's getting to the point where it's starting to actually separate. You can actually see where the peach is kind of falling down, and you're getting like a more clear top to it. And then you're getting that big, dense particulate below. That's peach puree. It has to be. And while I have no problems with that, if it brings something to beer, I think it actually ends up not necessarily hurting the beer, but kind of taking the beer in a smoothie direction, as opposed to being a big beer that's presenting huge peach to you. And I kind of steer in that direction a lot of times. When it comes to beer, and other people have said this. I'm not the first person to say it, but I really enjoy when beers taste like something. I like when someone makes a peach beer that screams stone fruit, screams peaches, but there's no peaches in it. This doesn't scream peaches. It definitely gives you a big, huge amount of peaches, but at the same time, I believe you're getting almost exclusively all that peachiness from the actual peach in the beer itself. The bits and pieces, particulate, the soup, the literal soup. I always joke about butternut squash soup. This is like peach nut squash soup, and then there's a beer involved. It's not bad. It's not a negative beer. It's not like disgusting or horrid or undrinkable. It's tasty. I like it. It's just kind of like Jamba Juice got mixed with a beer. And we got to pour the rest of this because how thick this is. I got to see what else is in this sucker. Let's see if it kind of falls out in chunks. Not too chunky. I thought I was going to give me some glibs and globs in the bottom, but not going to. So yeah, nice, tasty. The peaches come through, very fresh. There actually is a nice, probably the most craziest thing about the beer is there's a nice kind of soft carbonation to it. I think you'd lose that with this much bits and pieces in a beer, but it's there. And sweetness is nice. There's a nice bitterness. There's a nice balance between all of them. It's not overly sweet, but there's a nice biting bitterness to bounce off that sweetness. The peaches are big. There's a nice biting greenness to it too. So that's a fun beer. It's a nice beer. Just playing loose and fast with, is it a beer with peaches or is it like a peach puree that has beer vibes? I don't know. But in the end, it's tasty. Let's talk about it. It's one of the better double IPAs I've had as of late. It's probably worthy of being in the conversation, but at the same time, it's just like, it's kind of a little too soupy for me. Valued availability, no idea it was sent to me. I'm one of those lucky sons of bitches that has it happen every now and then. And leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like peaches and you like double IPAs, like I said, it's not a bad beer. I'm going to drink the whole thing. It's not going to go to waste. I think it's tasty. It just comes off a little bit too towing the line, as I said before, of is it beer or is it not, to be just beer and all the beer. So tasty, delicious. If you like peaches, dig into it. But an aged can of this, a couple months old, might be a little bit of a disaster. Let's put it that way. There you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it down there. If you want to talk about it, Massive Beers, if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive, if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting stuff. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice peach-laden beer right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.